Hello, you wonderful students of sports marketing. I'm Jeff Berner, and this video is all about the different types of media. Whether we're talking about traditional media or new media, this guy is always newsworthy. What? I'm not old. Stop saying that. I'm not old. Media relation utilizes various forms of media, such as traditional media or new media, which includes social media or websites. First, let's talk about traditional media. Traditional media refers to communication methods which existed before the internet. Traditional media consists of the following outlets: broadcast and cable television, radio, newspapers, and magazines. Traditional media offers access to a wide audience. It differs from new media outlets in that you build a relationship with a journalist. In other words, there's a go-between who presents your message rather than you connecting directly to the people. Next up is new media. New media refers to the new ways of communicating which have developed since the internet has become widely used. It consists of social media sites and other Web 2.0 sites via the internet. New media has quickly replaced traditional media in many aspects of the sports and entertainment marketing fields. Social media has become one of the most powerful media for companies, but also one of the most dangerous. Social media allows users to interact directly with their target audience or followers. It differs from traditional media as you can potentially reach a much broader audience. It is less expensive and a direct method to build a relationship. But if your message is misinterpreted or the company's representative's message is viewed as negative, the feedback and response on social media can be harsh, fast, and do damage to a company's reputation. Some examples of social media include Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Flickr, Blogspot, Snapchat, and TikTok. Social media has become so powerful that most pro and college sports organizations have social media specialists. So, what are the different types of media professionals you're going to need to deal with? Well, they include print journalists, online journalists, television reporters, radio broadcasters, photographers, and videographers. Let's talk about each of those. First is print journalist. Print journalists report for publications such as newspapers and magazines. They usually have the strictest deadlines. Print journalists are the most common type of journalists dealt with in media relations. Some may move from publication to publication, so it is important to keep track of them when developing contacts. Next is online journalist. Online journalists report for websites, online news sources, and blogs. They are very similar to print journalists, and they often work on deadlines as well. Next is television reporters. Television reporters report for television news sources. This may or may not be an anchor who is seen on television regularly. An anchor is the person who is seen or heard presenting the news story each night on a television news station. Television reporters are dealt with the most after print journalists. One item that you have to deal with television reporters is they may have to change the date of a feature will run if something urgent happens in the news. Next is radio broadcasters. Radio broadcasters include radio news anchors, disc jockeys, talk show hosts, and anyone else regularly aired on the radio. Radio broadcasters are limited to only audio announcements, and they are most listened to during prime commuter driving times of morning and afternoon when people are going to and coming from work. The last media professional we're going to talk about are photographers and videographers. Photographers and videographers work in conjunction with the reporters. They provide the visual element of your story, and they may be sent in place of the reporter, which is a lot more common in television, to get the visual needed as well as ask questions on behalf of the reporter. The last topic of this video is very important. We are going to be talking about media rights. Don't confuse this with the media broadcast rights that we talked about in an earlier unit. Media rights describe the freedom of communication and expression through media. Media rights implies freedom of the press, or prohibiting the government from interfering with the production and distribution of information or opinions. Freedom of the press is protected by the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Most news media follow criteria to verify news before it is ever presented to the public. Media rights and credibility are two of the biggest issues facing our society today. Okay, so that's my video on the types of media and the professionals working in the field. Remember to read through your Schoology page, then do your Module 1 activities. And when you're finished, click on the Next Up link and go to Module 2.1, where we're going to be talking about how you work with the media. Until next time, young Padawans, may the Force be with you.